Before we continue with today's class, why don't we just look into the home assignment of last class, children? Please take out your notebooks and check the answer. The father is the head of the patriarchal family. Second, the important decisions are taken by the mother in a matriarchal family. In a family tree, the eldest member is always mentioned at the top of the tree. In a nuclear family, there is usually only one generation. Children get more attention in a nuclear family. Discipline is the key factor in a joint family. I hope you have written the answers correctly, children. The second assignment was state whether the following statements are true or false. The first one, there is no difference between a home and a house. I'm sure you have all written false. There are 4 types of families. There are 4 types, aren't they, children? So, this statement is true. Third one, members of a nuclear family tend to become more orthodox. Is it correct, children? No, it is a false statement. Fourth one, there will not be privacy in a joint family. It's a true statement. Fifth one, we should always mention the name of the eldest member at the top of a family tree. It's a true statement. Have you all prepared your family tree chart, children? Please put it in a file and keep. I will check it when the school opens. Now, let us start this class with an activity. I'm sure you all have a paper. Take a paper which is there with you, right? Yes, now hold the paper and tear it exactly in the center of it. Now you have 2 pieces. Hold the 2 pieces together and tear again in the center of it. Now you've got 4 pieces. Hold all the 4 pieces and tear them again together. Now all the pieces, keep them together again and tear. Now, which was easy? Tearing the paper when it was one single sheet, or tearing the paper when it had so many pieces together? Yes, tearing the paper when it was one single sheet was very easy. What does that show? I think you have learned so many stories about this in your smaller classes also, isn't it? United, we stand, divided, we fall, and all that. Now let's take up the same moral but understand a different concept from it. When you are a single child all alone, you get easily hurt by different bad influences. But when you are in a group, you get protected, you are able to face all the difficulties. Correct, children? Same way, when people stay together, not as single individuals, but as families, then they are known as group. We have learnt about families in the last class, right? So, what is a group? A group is a collective noun for number of people. Have you all understood that, children? Good. Now that we know what a group is, what did I say a group is? A group is a collective noun for number of people together. Now, a group of people who live in a specific area for a long period of time is called a community. That means a collective group of people who stay in the same place. That is known as a community. You have understood what a group is and you understood what a community is, correct? So today we are going to start a lesson on community. Let us first learn what are the features of a community. There are three important features. First, members of a community develop a sense of we feeling among themselves. Second, a sense of interdependence is common among the members of a community. Third, living at a particular place for a long period is another feature of a community. What are the three features? The first one, members of a community develop a sense of we feeling among themselves. Second, a sense of interdependence is common among the members of a community. Third, living at a particular place for a long period is another feature of a community. Now let us take each and every feature and learn them one by one. I know due to the present scenario you all miss your classes. When you are in a class, the teacher gives you some activity, you complete it, and you create a beautiful chart and you stick it in your class and you start comparing. See, what we have done is so good compared to the other section. This sense that it is us, it is ours, that feeling of we have done it is the main feature of a community. Now, how about in your residential areas? This one wonderful example is this Ganesha festival, this festival which is going to come up. You have seen that all the children join together during this festival when they've kept the Ganesha idol on the road, isn't it? It is our street Ganesha, the feeling that we are doing the puja for Ganesha, we are joining together. This sense of we feeling, this sense of belonging is the most important feature of a community. Some of you would have noticed that whether you are staying in an apartment or an independent house or a house with many different portions in it, that when a new family moves in, they need your help because they don't know anything about this area. So automatically you go around helping them. Your parents would ask them whether they need food when they are shifting their house, explain them where are the different kinds of shops around, how to go about settling the bills and so on. Same way when you people shift to a different place also, like when your parents are changing their jobs, you may have to shift from a known place to a different place. You find that the people around there also help you. This kind of interdependence is the most important feature of a community. Can you be alone? Can any one of us live alone? It is not possible. We need everyone around us. It is quite clearly told that man is a social animal. We cannot live without talking. One day, can you people sit quietly in the class? Impossible. We need to talk to our friends. We need to exchange our ideas. So, this dependent on each other is known as the sense of interdependence. So, which is the most important feature of a community? The sense of interdependence. Now, how many of you are staying in apartments? How many of you are staying at the same place for a very long time? You have seen in Malleshwaram that some of the residents here are living here for almost 25-30 years. They know the place quite well. And those people who are staying in apartments or individual houses or portions for more than 10 years, you would know that you know the next door auntie, that auntie's mother and father, that auntie's kids where they are staying and everything. It's like you know all about your neighbors just like they know about you. How is this developing, children? When you stay at a place for a very long time, it becomes one big family. You start sharing with them joys, you share your sadness also, and one of you get your marks. It's wonderful, isn't it? Your parents will go around distributing sweets to everyone around your house. What about festivals? The people around you belong to different communities, right? different religions, and so on. During their festival, they will bring you sweets. During your festival, your mother would put a platter full of sweets and send you around. Please go and distribute to the different houses, right? This enjoyment comes only when you stay at a place for a very long time. If you're a new member, you wait for the other people around you to accept you in their circle. So, this is the third main feature of a community, staying at a place for a long time. So, now we have learned what a community is, what are the main features of a community. Please think when you're with your parents and you can discuss about the neighborhood and the different people around you and understand that you're all staying in a community because you have all the three main features. Now, let's learn about the types of communities. There are three types of communities basically. One, the rural community. Second, the urban community. Third, the tribal community. Look at the screen, children. You have on one side of the screen tall buildings, multi-storied buildings. And on the other side, you have lush green fields, a thatched house, and below that you can see some women carrying water on top of their heads in a bullock cart, and furthermore you can see a very small hut. Are they all the same? No, they're totally different, right? Now, those tall buildings which you see are the urban community. And you can see those sprawling fields and the lush greenery, as well as the women carrying water on their head, that belongs to the rural community. What about the thatch roof house and the people over there? That is the tribal community. So, what are the three types of communities? Urban community, rural community, and tribal community. Now let's learn rural community. Rural areas. What are rural areas? I think you all know when you go during your vacations to your villages, there is really a lot of difference between the city and the village, right? The houses become smaller, the areas become more green, spacious places are there, not much of traffic, and unpolluted air, very beautiful to see. Isn't it, children? You all love such vacations. So, when you live in villages or very small towns, such kind of people are known as rural community. Groups of people living in villages and very small towns are called rural communities. Now that we have learned what a community is, the different features of a community, the different types of community, and we have understood what a rural community is, let us learn about the different occupations of a rural community. What is the main occupation? Of course, everybody knows. Anywhere in India, the main occupation of the villagers is agriculture. That is why we call that agriculture is the backbone of Indian economy. Without agriculture, can we have the food which we are having? No. So it is the most important occupation of India. You have seen farmers in fields, correct, children? And I'm sure you have seen that the different process of agriculture. You would have seen the farmer dragging a plow between two bullocks over the fields. Of course, in some places there are tractors. Lot of modern equipments have also come. So why don't we just see what are the implements used by farmers? The entire implements, the different process of agriculture, everything you will learn in a chapter called agriculture later on. So just let us look at the implements used by the farmers. Plow. Everybody knows what a plow is, right? It is drawn over the soil to turn it over and to cut deep trenches into the ground. Why do you need such long, long holes in the ground? To plant seeds. Then the sickle. This is used for cutting lengthy stems of paddy, corn, and so on. Then comes the trowel. This is helping the farmers to loosen the earth up. Mattock is used for digging and chopping. Shovel is used for removing the loose earth once they have used a trowel and lifted the earth up. And rake is used in clearing out all extra grasses and leaves. You'd have seen many gardeners raking the fallen leaves in the month of October. Just go through, these are all traditional implements, not modern ones. These are the implements which the farmers have been using for many centuries. Plow, sickle, trowel, mattock, shovel, and rake. You can see that most of these implements are made from iron. You had seen in the prior slide all traditional implements. But nowadays, farmland is more, and we have very less time to do the cultivation. So people use modern implements. See, you can see a cultivator, a disc harrow, a rotary tiller, a chain mower, log splitter, hay baler, trailer, boom sprayer, and hole digger. All these are the modern kind of equipments. They are quite costly. Later on, when we learn agriculture, we will see how the government is helping the farmers in giving money to buy these kind of modern equipments. Now, the traditional implements which we saw in the last slide are usually made by blacksmiths. And where do you buy these modern implements from? Big factories. We know that agriculture is the most important occupation, but there are other occupations also, right, children? Now, let us see some of the other occupations of the rural community or the village people. One such occupation is beekeeping. You all love honey, correct? Yes. How do you get this honey? Only when beekeepers are there and these bees produce honey, you get them. So that is also an occupation. Then sericulture. Which woman does not love to wear a silk sari? Everybody loves silk saris. Where do this silk come from? It comes from sericulture. You will learn about sericulture also in your science classes. So the two occupations here are beekeeping and sericulture. Can you see these two pictures on the slide? You can see a lot of hens there, right? What kind of farming deals with hens and eggs? Yes, poultry farming. And the other side you can see cows. Cows means dairy, lot of milk, and milk is rich in calcium. I'm sure you're all drinking a glass of milk in the morning every day. So what are the two occupations over here? Poultry farming and dairy farming. Look at the picture. Your favorite picture is there. Toys. I'm sure you all love toys, playing with toys. Toy making is a very important industry in some of the villages. And you can see the basket being weaved, isn't it, children? Many of your parents also know how to weave basket. It is now a cottage industry. Now these two occupations are toy making and basket weaving. You can see on the screen cattle. Now, cattle rearing is very important because they help in dairy farming, and also we need ox to plow the fields, and the cow dung or the cattle dung is used as manure in agriculture. The another kind of occupation in small towns and villages is beedi rolling. Some of the beedi stuff is rolled into small papers and it is sold. Now, cattle rearing and beedi rolling are some of the occupations. We all know Excessive use of wood is harmful for our ecosystem. So we have a wonderful replacement, cane and bamboo. They are beautiful, they are strong, they are lightweight, and they come for a very long time. The different products which are made from cane and bamboo are trays, unique furnitures, decorative lamps, fans, baskets, handbags, lampshades, jewelry cases. Do you know some houses are also built out of bamboos? So many different products are done from cane and bamboo. The other occupation which you see on the screen is sheep rearing. You all know that sheep are very useful for their fur, which is turned into your sweaters which you wear. So, what are these two occupations? Cane and bamboo and sheep rearing. Here are some points to remember. Please take out your classworks and write in them. Groups of people living in a specific area for a long period is called a community. The features of a community are as follows. Members of a community develop a sense of we feeling among themselves. A sense of interdependence is common among the members of a community. Living at a particular place for a long period is another feature of a community. Some more points to remember, children. There are three different types of communities: rural community, urban community, tribal community. Groups of people living in villages and very small towns are called rural community. Agriculture is the main occupation in rural areas. Some more points, children. There are many implements used by farmers for agricultural activities. Here is a list of some of the agricultural implements used by the farmers and their manufacturers. Under the implements column, I have given you some implements, and manufacturers column, I have put you some manufacturers. Please put them in column wise only. Plow, blacksmith. Sickle, blacksmith. Basket weaver. Thresher, from factory. Some more points, children. The other occupations of rural communities are sericulture, poultry farming, beekeeping, cattle rearing, cane and bamboo craft, toy making, dairy farming, weaving baskets, beady rolling, and sheep rearing. Please write all of this in your classwork. Here is an interesting activity. You can see three GIFs on the screen. Lovely moving GIFs. Now you look at them and identify which type of community they belong to. One more activity. You can see some more GIFs. You should now identify the type of occupation by looking at the GIFs. Now one home assignment. Fill in the blanks. First one, group of people living in a specific area for a long period of time is called dash. Members of community develop a sense of dash feeling. Group of people living in villages or small towns is called dash community. The main occupation of rural community is fifth, plow is manufactured by a children. All the answers will be discussed in the next class. Thank you.